In this video, I'm going to show you some basics of Photoshop that you can use uh, if you're wanting to create a painting or arrange a painting in a certain work, create a composition for a painting. Photoshop is a great tool for you to use. And this little video is going to show you how to use Photoshop to do some real basic things. So the first thing we're going to do, I should say, if you're a painting student and you want to use Photoshop, all you got to go down to W09 to the computer lab, log in. All of the computers down there have Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator. There are just lots of tools for you guys to use, and you should take advantage of it. So, and also, if you ever want to take a digital media class, you get all those programs for free from Lee College. So these are expensive programs, so it's not a bad thing to think about doing. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the tools. I'm going to just sort of show you basically how I would use Photoshop if I was wanting to, compose, something for a painting. So basically, let's first go down. I'm going to open my Photoshop first, and we're going to open it up. Give it for just a second to load everything. Let's go ahead and close that. Okay, the first screen you're going to come to is going to look something like this. What you're going to do is want to create a new file. These are files I've used for other classes and other things. I'm going to go to New File, and it's going to give me some different things to use. Let's go. You can change it here to inches if you want to. I'm just going to make a square. So right now it's 15 by 26 inches. I'm going to go 15 by 15. There we go. And I'm going to increase the resolution to like around 300 and create. Now it's going to create an artboard for us to work on. So let's say that I wanted to create, I don't know, some like landscape scene with a figure in it. What we're going to do is just go to Photoshop. We're going to go to Google to get images to put into Photoshop. I'm just going to put landscape into my Google search, look for images. And let's just look around and find, here we go, just a landscape. I'm going to save image as. I'm going to put it on my desktop. I'm going to go and save it as landscape 1. Save it to my, see how this is highlighted desktop. This is everything that's on my desktop. So I'm just going to save it to desktop. So it's saved to desktop. And let's say I want to put like another image in the landscape. Let's put dinosaur. And let's look for images of dinosaurs. There's tons of images of dinosaurs. Let's say, who do we want to use? There's all kinds of good stuff. I'm going to do one that's not so easy, so we actually have to kind of copy it in a more complex way. Let's do let's just do this guy. We're going to save him also, save the image as, save it to desktop. Let's change the name to Dino1. Save him. All right, we're going to go back to Photoshop. We're going to open those two images. We're going to go open, desktop. Here's our two images. If you hold down Shift, you can select one and then hold down Shift and select the other. That means it selects both of them. You hit open. And it's going to open both of those files in our Photoshop. So here's our landscape. Here's our dino. Here's our artboard. So let's first take a piece of our landscape And let's see what's its size. Okay, let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's go 8 by 15. Now, here's the issue. Like, you want to get high res images. We're not going to worry too much about it. If you want to fit everything on the screen, you can go to View, Fit on Screen. See how it's kind of low res? That's just because the image we downloaded is kind of crappy. But, you know, so you can look for high res images that are bigger, that are going to look better. But we're just going to do this for me to show you how to sort of put an image in another image. So let's say we're going to take a section of this painting, of this photograph out. I used the selector, the rectangular marquee tool. Here, let me start over so you can kind of see what I did. So I took the rectangular tool. I clicked somewhere. We're going to put the dinosaur kind of here. So I clicked with the left button on my mouse and drug it to sort of capture this section. You hit Edit, Copy. Then we're going to go back into our artboard. We're going to put Edit, Paste. Now it's kind of small, so what we can do is select this. One of the easiest ways to do it is the magic wand tool. You can go in and select this white area. Now, what's happened is the computer has actually selected just this white area. If we want the interior, we go to Select, Inverse, and see now those dotted moving lines are just around this box. Then we can go Edit, Transform, Scale. And if you hold Shift and click a corner, you can move it without, actually, let me hold on a second, undo, it might be Alt. Yeah, hit Alt and hold one corner, and that way it doesn't change the dimensions. Like, if you don't do that and like you just grab it, well, actually it's letting us, so that's fine. So you can then move this around in this. Now, if you wanted to actually warp it or change the height to width ratio, you could hit Shift, click on a corner, and then you can kind of do all kinds of stuff with it. You can kind of really change that, but we don't want to do that. Let's put it back in the View, Fit on Screen, and put Edit, Undo. So, but we want to keep it kind of the same. So we're going to get it in there like that. And then hit your lasso tool to kind of get the selection off. Okay. Next, we're going to put the dinosaur in. So to get the dinosaur in, the best way to do this is to select him. So what we're going to do is, let's see, let's find this tool I want to use. Yeah. Let's see. No, hold on. Let's let it finish doing what it wants to do, but we don't want to go with that. There it goes. Edit, undo, object selection. Yeah, let's go with the polygon. And so with the polygon tool, you can just kind of go around him and you can really get detailed and get all these little spines, but you can just keep clicking, and you're going to go all the way around the dinosaur. Now, I'm not going to go super detailed because I don't want to spend an hour on this tutorial, but you can kind of go through and go all the way around. Yeah, so I wish I could play music while I'm doing this, but because of copyright stuff, if I put it on YouTube, it'll just get deleted. So there's no point. So instead, I will just fill the empty silence with me blathering on and on. We're almost there. Now, like I say, I'm going pretty fast. I mean, you can go in and really go much more detailed with it. Okay, now you see how that line is all the way around him. Now here's like a section, let's say we wanted to cut that part out too. You can actually hit Alt and go in and then sort of cut this section out too, like so. See, and there we go. So we have him. So then we're going to go up and hit Edit, Copy. We're going to go back into this and we're going to paste him. Now he's really small, so we're going to go Edit, Transform, Scale, and you can increase his size, you know, however much you want to. You can just sort of move him around to whatever place you want to put him in. Like that. And this is just kind of a good way, you know, I mean, you can make beautiful pieces by messing around with Photoshop and sort of be work all on its own. But if you just want to like use Photoshop to like maybe compose a painting, you know, this is kind of a good way to do it. Now, you can also go up, see here, it says layers. This is sort of showing like your layers of like, so we had our artboard, which is the background. Then layer one, I put in, which is our sort of landscape. And then he is our second layer, which is the dinosaur. Now you can actually just click that little eye off. If you want to mess around with something without messing with him, you can click that off just to kind of, you know, do different things with the images. And then let's say you want to flatten it to print it. So you can then print it by, I don't have a printer hooked up to this computer, but you can print by hitting File, Print, and print it to, you know, whatever printer you have connected to your computer. You can also then go in, let's say you decide you just want to print a certain section. You can do your selection tool. You can select maybe just this area, image, crop, image size, inches, make it like 10. Let's see, image size. Yeah, here we go. You can go 10. Notice how this will change the width and the height. Like if you change the height, the width will change to the same proportions. And so there you go. And also if you want to, let's see, step back and do image size and edit, undo crop, edit, undo, edit, undo, flatten. So we're back to our layers again. Let's say you want to go in and you want to kind of clean this up a little bit because I did sort of a really rush job. You can actually go back in with your eraser, which is right here. And you can go in. Now you can change the size of this. That circular area is what's going to erase. See, you can change the size of it by the bracket keys that are on your keyboard. There's a left bracket and a right bracket. It's right like one row above where your enter key is on your keyboard. If you hit the left bracket, it makes the tool smaller, that's good. And if you hit the right bracket, it gets really big. But if you get down to a smaller size, it might make it easier if you wanted to go through and clean up stuff, right? Kind of get rid of all of that. If you want to, if you were really wanting to go super OCD with this. Also, if you want to zoom in and zoom out, the magnifying glass that you see here, you click it, and you can do it one of two ways. The way I usually do it is like if you want to zoom in, you can left click and just click, click, click to go in really a lot. You can magnify it by quite a bit. Or if you want to come out, you hit Alt. See how that changed? I'm hitting my Alt button on my keyboard. Notice how the plus is changing to a negative. And then click, 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 click to come out. Now, the other way you can do it too is by holding down Alt and then using your, if you have a mouse wheel on your, a wheel on your mouse, you can just go in by rolling the mouse wheel forward or come out by rolling the mouse wheel back. Okay, so that's basically how you can use Photoshop to compose a painting or a drawing. You know, any two-dimensional composition, you can use Photoshop to sort of put it together, then print it, and then work from the printout. Oh, one last thing also, if you want it black and white, you can go image, adjust, mode, and go grayscale. And it will discard all the color. So if you want a black and white image to work from. The printers at the school only print in black and white. We don't do color. So you'll probably, this might make a richer print, easier to read. So it's not a bad idea if you're going to print at the school to go ahead and change it to black and white and then print it that way. All right, well, thank you for watching this video and I hope it helps.